Hello, kids. Okay, now we are going to move towards a supplementary reader book. Okay, and in that, lesson number 1, How the Camel Got His Hump. It is written by Rudyard Kipling. So, how the camel got his hump? What is this hump? Okay, you might have seen the animal camel. It has got a big hump on its neck. Okay, below the neck, it's a raised part on the camel's back. Okay, so how did he or did this animal get this hump? So this is the story all about. So we are going to see what had happened in the history in the past actually, and how this camel got his hump. The world had just begun and the animals were working for humans. There was one lazy animal that did nothing and said nothing but hump. Even the clever Jinn was at his wits' end. Okay, so part 1 of the story. So the world had just begun. World means living things. They have newly occurred or they have taken birth on the earth, and how the animals, when they came into being on this earth, and they started working for the human beings. Newly, these animals, they have got their job to work for the human beings. Among them, there was one lazy animal that did nothing. He was very lazy and he did nothing, but he said one word, and that one word was hump. Even the clever Jinn was at his wits end. So even the clever Jinn, see the spelling DJINN, though it starts with D is silent, we should say it Jinn. So the Jinn, magical person, you know who Jinn is, okay? So this Jinn was very clever, but he had to think a lot how to make this lazy animal, work like other animals. So let us start with the story. In the beginning, when the world was new and the animals were just beginning to work for man, there was a camel, and he lived in the middle of a howling desert because he did not want to work. He ate sticks and thorns and prickles, and when anybody spoke to him, he said, hump. Just hump and no more. So when the world had newly begun, at that time when animals started working for the human beings, there was one animal, the camel, who did nothing, but he said hump. He used to love to live in the middle of a howling desert. It's a name of a place, howling desert. He loved to stay over there because he did not want to work. Okay, and there he used to, or he loved to eat sticks, thorns and prickles. Okay, and when someone speak to him, he would reply hump by saying hump. Okay, so just one word, hump, and nothing. Presently means at that time. The horse came to him on Monday morning with a saddle on his back and said, camel, oh camel, come out and trot like the rest of us. So what happened one day? At that time, the horse, he went to the camel on Monday morning, and he asked him to come to go with him and trot like him. Trot means how the horse, they trot, they run on their two legs. Okay. In that way, he asked him to trot like him, and the horse came with a saddle on his back. Saddle means seat on which people sit on that seat. Okay, so he came on saddle on his seat, and he requested him to come with him, okay, and trot like him. Hump, said the camel, and the horse went away and told the man. So what was the reply of camel? Nothing, but he said hump. So the horse was fed up to ask him again, so he straight away went to the man and he complained it to man. Presently, the dog came to him with a stick in his mouth and said, camel, oh camel, come and fetch and carry like the rest of us. Hump, said the camel, and the dog went away and told the man. After horse, there came the dog. Okay, he went to the camel and he asked him to play the fetch and carry game. Fetch and carry. When you throw a ball, a disc, or a stick throw it and ask the dog to fetch it. The dog quickly fetched it and bring it to you. So this is the work of the dog. Dog fetches everything for you people. He brings things for you people. He brings newspapers, he brings milk bottles, he brings other important things which you could ask him to bring. The dog would bring it to you. So this is the job which is given to the to the dog of fetching. So he is requesting camel to come with him and to fetch the things like he does. But camel as usually replied, hump. So dog, he was also fed up and he went to the man and complained it to him. Now presently the ox came to him with the yoke on his neck and said, Camel, oh camel, come and plow like the rest of us. Hum, said the camel, and the ox went away and told the man. So now after dog there came the ox. He went to the camel with the yoke on his neck. Yoke means a wooden piece. Okay, you might have seen ox working in the farmland. They have the wooden piece on their back and they plow the field. Okay, with that wooden piece that is called plow. Also plow. So that is the job given to the ox, and they do it. Okay, so this ox was requesting camel to come with him and to plow like him, like he and others, how they did the work. But camel as usual, he again replied hump, and ox went away to the man and he told him everything. At the end of the day, the man called the horse and the dog and the ox together and said, 303, I am very sorry for you, but that hump thing in the desert can't work, or he would have been here by now. So I am going to leave him alone and you must work double time to make up for it. So sorry for these animals. At the end of the day, man had called all these three animals, the horse, the ox and the dog, and he felt sorry to announce that the hump thing which is there in the desert, he doesn't work at all. So what these three animals had to do, they had to work double because he doesn't do any work. So on his part, what he had to do, he was supposed to do, that work was also given to all these three animals. Listening to this, all these three animals were very angry. That made the three very angry, and they held a panchayat on the edge of the desert. And the camel came chewing cud and laughed at them. Then he said hum and went again. So listening to this, obviously three of them were very angry and they held a panchayat at the edge of the desert. So they held a panchayat means they held the meeting of only three of these animals were there for this meeting to discuss what to do. So when they were discussing these things, this camel, this creature, hump thing, it came over there, it looked at them, it laughed, it said hum, and it just went away. The animal had nothing to do what was going on. So presently there came along the jinn who was in charge of all the desert, rolling in a wind, in a cloud of dust. So when these animals were discussing what to do next, so there came a jinn. He came rolling in the dust. You know how jinn, it appears in front of you. From nowhere it appears in front of you. So he came. The jinn looks like he has a blue colored skin. Okay, he has one pony and we cannot see his legs. He is there moving, floating in the air. Okay, so he came rolling over there, okay, in front of them. And the next part of this chapter we are going to deal in our next video. So let us see whether the jinn helps these animals or not, or whether he teaches a lesson to that lazy hump thing. Okay, so we have to find it out in our next part. Till then, please go through this part of the story in the lesson in the book, and again watch this video to try to understand it in a better way. And please leave your comment in the comment box. Bye.